Now, why was John Cena there? John Cena was there. Apparently, he had a free day in between shooting whatever film it is he's shooting right now. And so they were able to make it work. It was just a one-off appearance. It wasn't to tease a match for SummerSlam or anything like that. And frankly, after the match he had with Austin Theory at WrestleMania, I'm okay if we don't get John Cena back in the ring at SummerSlam. But John Cena was there to lobby for WrestleMania in London. So he gave this big speech. He was praising the UK wrestling fans. And he said, as far as WrestleMania in London, which of course they went crazy for when he first mentioned that, they started doing the yes chants, the whole building came unglued. He said, the decision is not up to me. He said, it's up to the decision makers. And he told the crowd to just cheer as loud as possible so that the decision makers will hear what WrestleMania in London would sound like. He said, I'm here to try to bring WrestleMania to London. I'm here right now not for one more match. I want to give something to an audience that I love. I want to give them a chance to tell the world, to tell the people who make the decisions, what we already know. Take a moment right now, let them see, let them feel, let them hear what WrestleMania is going to sound like in London. And at that point, he was interrupted by Grayson Waller, who cut this whole promo himself about how WrestleMania shouldn't come to London because the weather sucks and the people suck. It should come to Australia instead. And he said he could get Cena a spot on the show by having him on the Grayson Waller effect. This all led to Grayson, attacking him, and then Cena came back and gave him an attitude adjustment, and that was the end of the segment. What this is, it was pretty clear watching this, and if you consider the timing of it, all the years that have gone by where you've had the fans, the UK fans, right, lobbying and hoping for a WrestleMania to come overseas. And it just so happens that AEW has already sold over 65,000 tickets, and they'll probably end up with between 70 and 75,000 people once they start actually announcing matches for the all-in show at the end of August, right? They're going to have 70,000 people or thereabout in Wembley Stadium. They have an $8 million plus gate already. And again, all of this is without a single match being announced. It's the novelty. Yeah, that's a big part of it. It's the novelty, their first time coming to the UK, and they're blowing it up. And don't think for a second that WWE and Vince McMahon have not taken notice of the fact that they have this other company, other than their own, this other national promotion that has now gone overseas and has done what they have been able to do with these numbers at Wembley. It is the AEW Wembley effect that is absolutely playing a role in this. Now, Triple H at the post-show press conference, when he was asked about this, because this wasn't an announcement that WrestleMania is coming to London. This was planting the seed for the possibility that WrestleMania could come to London and getting people's hopes up. Triple H sounded very non-committal at the post-show press conference. He talked about the logistical difficulties of pulling off an event like that overseas, which is why it hasn't happened yet. But that segment yesterday does not happen if there is not a serious conversation going on about bringing WrestleMania to the UK. And the time zone difference, it's not an issue anymore. First of all, it's not an issue anymore because of the Peacock deal. I mean, they have the fucking Saudi Arabia shows that the pre-show starts at noon. Actually, the actual event, I think, starts at noon. Yesterday's show started at 3 o'clock Eastern time, which actually wasn't bad, to be honest with you. I didn't mind it so much. But the time zone, I don't want to hear about the time zone stuff anymore because the time zone difference is no longer an issue. Right? They did a show at 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, East Coast time, and guess what? The world didn't end. And they're still setting all kinds of viewership records. Because I know the time zone thing is something Triple H has cited in the past. But they see the success that AEW, it's kind of like they were the guinea pig. All right, AEW went over there, they did this at Wembley. All right, well then we can do better. Yesterday was about getting London to come to them with an offer. Because they don't bring WrestleMania to your city anymore unless there's something in it for them. So if London wants it, and the right people make the pitch, then they're going to get WrestleMania. Now, WrestleMania 40 next year is locked in already for Philadelphia. Nashville is probably, or Nashville seems to be under the impression, they're probably going to get WrestleMania 43. So that would be 2027. So that would leave 2025 and 2026 open. That's WrestleMania 41 and WrestleMania 42. I have to think that if they don't already have the 2025 location locked down, They already have a few candidates in contention. I'm sure that's being worked on as we speak. So 2026 might be more likely. But the point of all this is that WrestleMania in London, which would be insane. I mean, just look at the crowd reactions that they got at SmackDown on Friday and Money in the Bank yesterday. Now magnify that by 10, right? And that was 18,000 plus in the O2 Arena. Imagine giving London their very first WrestleMania in a stadium like Wembley, because Wembley would have to be a leading candidate for it. You know, they could easily put 90,000 people back-to-back nights in Wembley Stadium. And if they don't, they'll just say that they did. So either way, it'll be 90,000 plus, probably 100,000 both nights at Wembley Stadium. The point is, after what we saw yesterday, WrestleMania in London just got a whole lot more real.